Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself. I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
What's up, Utah? Welcome in on a Tuesday. JJ and Alex, Jeremiah Jensen, Steven Sylvester sitting in for Alex Kirry. It's football season, and it's a great time to have Sly in studio.
Oh, yes.
And as always, wearing his shades.
Hey, there is content every single day.
Oh, we have so
about
much to
football.
get
There's
in.
so much stuff to talk about. Can we get it in 3 hours? That is the question.
Well, we got to start with the most important stuff.
Of course, top of the hour.
And that is, for those of you out there that don't know, Sly is now in the club. He is not that club. You're not going to be going to that club as much as you used to.
I was just playing 50 Cent in my head in a second ago.
Hey, shorty, what's your birthday? Not that
potty.
club.
We gonna potty.
Not that club. Fatherhood.
Oh, yeah.
And so
man.
I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed watching Sly transition.
Oh, man. It's a different transition. It's the fatherhood transition. That,
It's different.
Specify.
Those of us that are on the other side have been through the transition. We know what you're going through right now.
And it's crazy because normally I'm just angry at everything, and you can't with this little thing. It's crazy. For all you guys know, it's Taco Tuesday, right? I absolutely love Tuesdays, but I had a.
What's the other reason why you love Taco Tuesday?
Well, my baby I got my first explosion today.
Oh, no.
And it wasn't in the back. It was all the way in the front. It was a front side.
Wait.
Front side explosion today.
How did it get in the front?
I'm still bewildered right now. I just got done feeding her, and we're just chilling. And then next, she's asleep, right? You get that good breast milk, and you're out.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
You're milk wasted.
That's the best point. That's one of the best moments of being a new parent is when they're asleep and you just get to hold them.
Oh, yeah.
Until, of course, this happens.
And she wakes up out of nowhere, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, she farted, So I'm just like, oh, do your business. I ain't gonna change you yet. I ain't gonna waste these diapers like that, right? So I'm chilling, man. You're good, and then all of a sudden I look down. There's a burp cloth, and it's white, and I'm just like, yo, what is that on there? And then I look on the opposite side of me. It is spilling. It looks.
We got a gusher.
It looks like brownish green lava coming out of this diaper on the front side. Sorry for the visuals, folks. But it was. I was just like, oh no, and I couldn't even put her on. I'm like, where do I put you? Changing station, floor? No, just go straight in the tub. I can wash that out easy. I just lay her in the tub. My wife's like, why the heck did you use the baby thing? I'm just like, look, it's an emergency. You gotta act now, right? React now. Nah, yeah. So I was baptized today in the explosion category.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. We've all been there. But
yes.
The first time you get hit with one like that, it's something. It's something to take in. So hopefully she's all cleaned up now.
Oh, she's great. We had a next 30-minute bath.
The hazmat crew came in.
Which is me. I'm a one-man wrecking crew.
Got the power washer out, and we cleaned everything up. You might have to remove that tub permanently, but that's okay.
It's good.
That's okay.
I think the stains will come out.
You get to the point where I had 4 kids, you just stopped worrying about stains.
Right.
We're just not going to worry about that.
First of all, you just forget about the 4th baby. You just like...
That's true, too. That's so true, too.
Did we have one? Wait, what?
We have 4 kids? Where is he?
Oh,
yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, it's fun to see Sly experience all these things.
Yeah.
So that's fun. And I'm glad you shared all that because we all feel your pain. Beautiful baby girl. I think she set a Guinness Book of World Records mark for the most hair on an infant.
Bro, I've never been like everywhere we walk, especially in the hospital, all the nurses, they see babies every day.
Right.
Every single one of them stopped by and just could not believe how much hair the baby had. Like, we could put it in pigtails right now.
Do you know those little troll dolls?
Yes.
Are you old enough to remember those?
Oh, yeah. I threw my little my cousins. She hated it. We used to throw them off the roof. You know, you tie the garbage bags around them like they're army guys.
Yes.
And throw them off the roof. Oh, yeah. A lot of memories with those troll things.
So the trolls have nothing on your daughter. That's just an amazing hair. Just beautiful girl.
Luscious locks.
It's just awesome, Sly, and congrats for all that. It's just fun to see you go through that transition, and prayers to your wife. So, baby's surviving, baby's healthy. It's awesome.
Yes.
Here, and we're going to talk about your other baby, Utah football. Good start. That's where we're going to start our show today. Big game. Oh no. What do you call the Wyoming game?
I need
big game
to get through it.
It's just the next game.
Through it game.
Sorry, the big game is the next week ahead, but we can't talk about Texas Tech yet. But maybe we will later in the show because somebody irritated Sly, and we got to get to that as well. But we're going to start with Utah versus Wyoming. Get you ready for that one. The show's brought to you by G2G Bars with all natural ingredients, no preservatives, and plenty of protein. G2G Bars are perfect for anyone who needs a tasty and nutritious boost. Utah versus Wyoming is a cut at 3 o'clock.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Give our friends at Trajan Wealth a call today. Any financial needs you have, they're your local financial fiduciary. They can help you get ready for retirement. They can help you set up a 401k. They can help you run benefits for your small business, whatever you need. Give Trajan Wealth a call today, 801-899-7600, or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. All right, Utah versus Wyoming. The Utes, 20th ranked in the country right now, according to the AP poll, which has incredible voters, by the way, the most brilliant people on earth. We won't get into that too much because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus or be mean. But
that's a whole topic by itself.
It's been a rough couple of weeks for the AP top 25. Let's just say that.
Gosh,
some voters have had to go private on Twitter.
Oh, for sure. That's why I tell you, it's like there's no reason to even have it out before week 4.
It really isn't. And you know what? The only one that really matters is the college football playoff. But even that is obviously in question with the committee.
So why do we even have an AP? Yeah, it's crazy.
Well, because it gives us something to talk about, and it does matter because it does start to build narratives early on in the season. If you're a Utah fan, the fact that you're 20th ranked in the country is going to get you attention. Without an AP Top 25 poll, is Big Noon coming to Utah for Texas Tech Utah? Absolutely not. No, these things create interest. They create narratives. They fuel talk, and that's what we love about sports. You can sit around and talk, and if you're watching on YouTube, you saw what Sly just did, and it fuels money, which is what it's really all about.
That's what the talking does. It circulates the money, and you ask Rod Tidwell from Jerry Maguire, what's it all about? Show me the money.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
And that's what's going on in college football today. But a lot of interesting storylines with Utah right now. The hype is building, and they've earned some of that. Now, I'm going to be honest, Sly, some of the luster of that UCLA win is gone. UCLA's not good. UNLV absolutely wrecked them. I mean, UCLA made it respectable at the end, but for the most part, UNLV dominated that game. I don't think UCLA even had a lead in that game. So I'm not taking away anything from the way Utah performed in that game. It's just obviously UCLA is not the opponent that we thought they may be.
And I'm glad that we beat them first.
Yes.
For how these AP voters
because
and
if it was flipped and it was UNLV that beat them week 1, it was obviously
so who cares?
Change your perception. But that's how these things are built. You can only play who's on your schedule.
Right.
Utah has played who's on their schedule, and they've absolutely demolished their opponents. So it's not that who they've beat; it's the way they've done it.
Right.
And we had, before the shows, we send stuff to each other. We see things out there that we talk about, and one of the things that I think it was Alex actually sent it to us, is what's been talking about what's happening in college football. Sly is interesting. We saw Sione Vaki do it 2 years ago, where somebody who on defense is playing offense. And then last year, the Heisman Trophy winner played both ways in Travis Hunter. Well, you're starting to see a trend here in college football where, and I don't know how widespread it is, I'd have to take a deep dive into that, but we obviously know that Utah is one team that's really diving into it. 2 players in particular. There's actually 3. I'm going to throw Jackson Benny in there, but obviously they have some defensive players that are coming over on offense and making plays. And writers are calling it the Travis Hunter effect. And you're seeing that now for the Utes. I want to get your thoughts on it because we talked a little bit about it on Sunday. And we thought, well, is this a good TV topic or is this more for radio? And it's obviously more for radio, and here you are. The packages that Utah is putting together with defensive players and other players, they're doing a lot of different things. What are you seeing with Utah's offense that Jason Beck is doing? What are you seeing with what they're doing with those defensive players that's been so effective 2 weeks in and could continue to be effective and help them contend for a Big 12 championship?
The thing that gets me is you always see offense, and now, fantasy football, you try to focus on one guy, and that's what it is. Utah shares the love, and when we've been good in the past, it's because we've been able to do that. We've had a plethora of guys that we can throw the ball to, run the ball with, whether that was Brant Keithy being able to run the ball alongside Zach Moss, or, Cam Rising, throwing to his plethora of tight ends, and then being able to hand the ball off to, a trio of running backs in Mekhi Bernard, TJ Pledger, and Tavion Thomas. We've had a plethora of talent around us. That's when Utah football is good. And so basically where I was coming at with that is when I look at a team, right, it's not like, oh, they've got the most AP rankings or their school has the most money. So it's how can I defend that team? Or if I'm on defense or I'm looking at somebody else's defense, is how will I attack that team, right? And so for this case, and looking at, Jason Beck's offense and how would I defend this team, I'm just noticing how discombobulated I would be if I was out there. And, we in the postgame show, Bill and Scott asked, Coach Witt, how would he, as back in Coach Witt's defensive coordinator days, how would you do that? And I'm right across from Coach Witt, so I'm just looking at his face, and there was a lot of thought that has to go to that. And ultimately, he didn't really have an answer for it. And so you feel that same way. And, there's a package that Utah has right now with Hunter Andrews, Smith Snowden, Lander Barton, Dallin Bentley, and I think it's Tobias Mayweather's the 5th receiver in there. And the interchangeability they have, they go no huddle, right? No huddle already brings its own dynamic and structure and difficulties with it, with that confusion. But you still know, okay, that person's the running back, that person's the tight end, that person's the receiver, no matter where they line up. That is not the case with this package. Hunter Andrews lines up at tight end, flex, and running back. Smith Snowden lines up at running back, flex, and X receiver. Lander Barton is Y and flex, but I'm sure he can line up in the backfield because we've covered him in high school. He's an absolute talent.
I thought he was going to be a tight end in college.
Yes.
He was that good in high school.
I didn't even see him play defense in the game that we covered. I'm just like, this guy is a D1 tight end.
Yeah, the defense was an afterthought when he was at Brighton.
Oh, yeah. But there's this package, and they go up-tempo, and there's minimal communication. They get the whole call from the sidelines. Devin gives minimal communication, and they go. As a defense, you got to find out who's lining up on who's going to be in which position at what time, and alongside, because that all depends on what defensive call you have, right? If I'm in a blitz, I got to align off of the certain personnel that's up there. If the personnel is scattered, how am I aligning properly, right? And so if you got to do cover 2 or man is the only way a defense can do to stop this, you got nothing. And you become extremely vanilla on defense, which means it's easy for Devin to see exactly where the holes are, from pass to run to play action, hot routes, audibles, whatever you want. Devin is literally just salivating. This right here, this package that they have is new football. I cannot wait till the NFL adopts this and sees the way that they're shifting around and utilizing different people. And you as a Utah fan, you can have a little angst with the Travis Hunter effect. because Sione did it the season before. But Travis Hunter did win the Heisman, so you can call it the Travis Hunter effect.
He did it at an elite level.
He did it at an elite level. I'll give him that. But, this is something – this is special, man. And for anybody down the road even thinking about trying to defend this, good luck. Because that first touchdown, right? The first touchdown, it was a 1-2. We got 1-2s. You go on a slant and a swing. And Devin Dampiers-Reed is the outside linebacker, right? If the outside linebacker chases over the top, he's leaving the slant open. But if he takes the slant and the cornerback takes the slant as well, that swing route's right open. And that's exactly what happened. The corner chased the slant, linebacker took the slant, and Wayshawn Parker was in the end zone before they even figured it out. This offense, folks, I'm talking a lot. There's a lot of words, but I'm telling you, man, I'm juiced. It's so great, and I'm so glad they're wearing red.
After the pain of maybe, I guess, the last 2 years, right?
Yeah.
I mean, last year was brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, 7 rushing touchdowns all season.
Oh.
So to see what they're doing now, averaging 500 yards per game.
We got like 8 rushing touchdowns already.
They may be. I need to look that up. There's been quite a few. When you score 63 points and 43 points, there's a lot of opportunities for rushing touchdowns. You may be right, Sly.
We got 9.
9 rushing touchdowns already in 2 games?
2 games.
7 last year in 12 games.
Wow.
That's not Utah football. What we're seeing right now is, but in a new way.
Yes.
A new modern way of Utah football on the offensive side that seems to be a great complement to what they do on defense. But, Sly, the schedule has not been the most challenging yet. So my next question for you is, and obviously we're not going to find out this week, no disrespect to Wyoming. I think Wyoming's going to play hard. They're off to a 2-0 start.
Right.
Game is in Laramie. The fans will be juiced. They're excited to have a top 20
dark
team in
magic
town.
will be out.
You know what it's like to play in Laramie. It's not like there's a crowd of 5, there's not 60,000 fans there, but the 25,000 are there. We'll let you know they're there. But Wyoming is Wyoming, and Utah should go in there and take care of business. I'm looking ahead to Big 12 play. How does this offense do you think will work against the Big 12 heavyweights? And if you are, let me let you answer that first. Then I've got one more question for you before we go to break.
Yeah, and that's a part of my assessment. How does it translate, right? And that's the discombobulation that I'm telling you isn't UCLA, isn't Cal Poly. That's any defense. That's Florida. That's Alabama if they were lining up against. That discombobulation translates to the NFL is what I'm talking about, right? And the way that you have to beat this defense or beat this style of offense is you're going to have to out-athlete them.
And that was going to be my next question.
That's what we were talking about with the depth and the plethora of talent we have around is how are you going to out-athlete all of these guys? Smith Snowden and Lander Barton's top. We just talked about Lander Barton as a D1 5-star tight end, let alone linebacker, right? And he's not even your starting tight end, right? And in the different packages from the big boy package, Utah's just figuring out exactly what they want. See, in these first couple games, I did only questions that I had was the reasonings behind certain calls in certain situations. But what they were doing was testing out if that's possible for us to do. When you get into Texas Tech, when you get into Arizona State, when you get into the team down south, there's no messing around. There's no testing out. I'm playing big boy football. I know that, I put Keith Olsen in the backfield, and he's like Refrigerator Perry. He's knocking people around. I know that. I'm not playing around with doing a bootleg. I'm giving the ball to Kirry Rogers and having him follow Olsen right into the end zone. I'm not playing around when I get that. And that's what you can take from these first 2 games because I was just like, it was at the end of the half when we got on that 14-point deal right before the end of the half. I'm like, why did we wait until 4th down to run the big boy package when we know we can get in? They were trying things out with those other 2 downs, right? In other play, we're not going to mess around. That's big boy package. I don't care if you know it. Who else knows? That's tush push time, right?
Yeah.
NFL doesn't have what we have where we can have slurring games. You got to bring it every single week, right? And that's why you tush push in the middle of the field. You don't normally see the big boy package in the middle of the field, but you do with this offense, with Jason Beck's offense. That is our tush push, and we are going to do that, no hesitation, once conference play starts.
It's obvious this offense is vastly improved.
Yes.
And we will wait and see once they get to Big 12 play just how good it is. But after 2 games, you can't help but be impressed with Devin Dampier, with the scheme, with the play calling, with the production. And you mentioned it, 9 rushing touchdowns in 2 games. They had 7 all last season. Devin Dampier has 1, Wayshawn Parker 2, Nakari Rogers 3, Bird Ficklin has 2, and Smith Snowden has 1.
And a nasty stiff arm. Ooh.
Yeah, that was quite a run by Bird Ficklin the other day against Cal Poly. There's a lot to like about what we're seeing offensively from Utah, and that was the question coming into the season, is how would Devin Dampier translate to Power 4 football as a quarterback? Check. Jason Beck's scheme, how would it work with this personnel? Check. How much personnel did they have, and how good would that personnel be? Check. Was the offensive line as good as advertised so far after these 2 games? Check. I got to see him against a front. We're going to see it in 2 weeks against Texas Tech, because Texas Tech might have one of the best defensive fronts in the Big 12. And if they pass that test and they beat Texas Tech at Rice-Eccles Stadium, then it's pretty clear to me at that point that this team is a serious, serious contender for the Big 12, which means they're a team that could get into the college football playoff. And we would be on a crash course for what I believe is going to be 6-0 versus 6-0 at LaVell Edwards Stadium in mid-October.
I'm going to wear my best party boy outfit out there, too.
I bet you will.
If I'm going down south, you better know Sly going to come to town. I'm going to be all red out.
And hopefully your daughter doesn't poop on it.
She's staying at home. I've seen some BYU fans. I don't want her down there in that atmosphere yet.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah. Until she takes some Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and she knows how to defend herself, she ain't going down there yet.
She's not old enough for a cougar tail yet, so we'll save it.
No,
we'll save it for a couple
years
from now.
She's still on the mommy's milk.
All right, we got to take our first break. Great conversation on the Utes. We'll see how they do against Wyoming, and if that offense continues to roll forward. This time at 7,220 feet. In an intimidating environment, or at least it's portrayed to be that. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, college football power rankings. Who's in the top 10? Where would we put BYU and Utah at this point in the top 25? We'll get to that next on JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
Kyle Whittingham and the Utes hit the road for a battle against Wyoming and Laramie. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You're locked on to JJ and Alex, presented by G2G Bars on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
My theme song, baby.
It's not night. It's afternoon. But Sly does have his glasses on. His sunglasses on.
I wear my sunglasses at night so I can so.
He wears his sunglasses on the radio.
Oh, I wear it everywhere, bro.
Is it that bright in here?
My nephew he's like, why do you have your sunglasses on? He's like, I had to tell him at that. I gotta understand. This is teaching moments, right? I wear my glasses because I'm cool.
You gotta share wisdom with the young generation here.
But like after you say that and you just have it and you just watch their face and how it sinks in their face, they're like, oh, I want some glasses. It's so great. So yeah,
an important lesson learned.
Lesson learned
for that youngin'.
I gave him some dollar store glasses, and they wear it everywhere.
Dollar store sunglasses.
They're good glasses now.
Why not?
I got like 8 pairs of dollar store glasses.
They're selling Ray-Bans at dollars, whatever.
I mean, it's Fay-Bands, but
Fay-Bands.
It's Fay-Bands, but it works. It works.
And I bet he looks cool.
Oh, he looks great. He got a little chain too. He thinks he's a little player, man. Oh
okay.
Man, it's crazy. He knows how to pose and everything.
Nice.
These kids these days. These kids.
Oh yeah, look at you sounding old.
Hey.
Yeah, little lesson from Monk over here.
I got fecal matter on me today, man. I'm hecka old.
It's poop again.
It's poop again. Yes.
I hate poop. Win big every Wednesday on the KSL Sports Zone with Win Ticket Wednesday. This Wednesday, win tickets to Breaking Benjamin in 3 days' grace. Saturday, September 27th at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater. Get your tickets now at livenation.com or tune in Wednesday for your chance to win free tickets. It's Win Ticket Wednesday on the KSL Sports Zone. All right, college football power rankings. It's always fun after a couple weeks to see where things are at and have your own opinions. We'll get some help from CBS Sports. They have their college football power rankings out. An interesting top 25 that they have. Much different than the AP poll. And I want to get your thoughts, Sly. Top 5 in the country. You have any problem with Ohio State, Penn State, Miami, LSU, Oregon?
No, not at all.
Yeah, Miami feels a little high to me. I know they beat Notre Dame, but they beat them on their home field, and I don't know where Notre Dame is.
Well, here's the thing. For
that feels like is Miami better than Oregon, Georgia, and Texas?
I
don't think so.
Going from the flow, and when you ask him, am I okay with it? It's from just the legendary AP polls. It just from these whole polls, aspect of it. Ohio State, watching them against Texas, very technically sound. Always has been. You can get the best athletes in the country. You get 5-star guys.
And they only need 14 points a game to go undefeated.
Right.
With that defense.
Oh, for sure. Right. And they're just extremely talented. So I like that. Penn State, they're the team that everybody's just like, are they deserving? Like, they started at number 2. They're staying there. They've traditionally, outside of Michigan and Ohio State, which are the 2 games that they lose every year.
Right.
Other than those 2 games, they're just like, their schedule is just always whatever. I want to see Penn State more start the season with more, let's go for an SEC opponent to start the season. Let's go for, a top tier opponent to start the season, or mix that in. But, the Big Ten has how many teams? Is it 20? 18 now?
They expect to have 20 by 2030.
Right, and
they're going to expand.
Right, I just hope the competition gets a little better in the Big Ten. Across the board, they got a top 5.
You're right. It's top heavy for sure.
But I just think that more of these good teams need to play against each other more often.
The new college football playoff expectations of the committee that was released, stressing the importance of playing tough non-conference opponents.
Yeah.
So Texas, for instance, going to Ohio State, that should not penalize Texas at all.
But it was great for
football. They should be rewarded for that.
It was great
for week 1. We had really good week 1 matchups. LSU and Clemson, Notre Dame and Miami. That was great for college football. I don't think any of those teams should be punished for going out there and getting a tough game. I think the teams that have run away from that, Indiana, Penn State, should be knocked for that.
I agree.
And I think BYU and Utah moving forward will obviously try to adjust their schedules, and they do. If you look at the future schedules, there's 10 Power 4 opponents.
In 2027, right?
Exactly. Yeah. LSU's on the schedule in the future. I think Arkansas is on that schedule in the future. So Utah and BYU
Harlan's
moving
doing a great
forward,
job with that. Yeah.
Yeah, he inherited this Wyoming situation.
Yeah.
We all understand the story and background behind that. This is a game they scheduled for 2020 that they're playing now 5 years later. In the future, 10 Power 4 opponents is going to be the norm around the country, I hope.
Yes.
And if the ACC doesn't go with the nine-game conference schedule and the same deal, then they're going to be punished for it. So looking at the Power Poll, that was the top 5, but some interesting – I'll throw out some interesting teams here. They have Illinois 7th.
I'm looking at it. I'm like, what?
Where? I mean, they beat Duke. Then they beat him pretty good. And I love Altmaier. He's a good quarterback. I mean, you can make an argument. He's the best quarterback in the Big Ten.
But top 10?
I don't know that they've proven that yet. Florida State, with the big win over Alabama, they have them at 8, ahead of Texas. I think if Texas played Florida State today, Texas would win by 3 touchdowns.
Hold on now. I don't think so.
You think Florida State was really the real deal after watching them beat Alabama?
And I told you, this was a part of our last segment. What am I looking at when I'm assessing teams? I'm assessing talent. I'm assessing how do they utilize their talent, right? We covered this Lone Peak game against Gorman, right?
Yeah.
I'm just like, they can compete with Gorman. They have the talent.
Right.
Now, what also did I say during the broadcast? What the heck are you doing?
Lone Peak continues to catch strays.
Oh, man, they pissed me off so bad because they could have won that game. And I had a lot of beef with Bishop Gorman from being from Vegas.
Right.
So I'm like, take it to him. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And so, like,
and they finally did in the second quarter figure some stuff out.
But they could, right?
Yeah.
How you utilize that talent is very differently. You look at Florida State, the way they beat Alabama, they played great team ball. I know they were at home as well, so that was a help. But, I mean, the home field advantage, whatever. But how they utilize that talent, and I'm a big fan of Castellanos. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he can definitely get the job done, especially with his legs, extremely fast, but he handles that offense and he's a leader. I like him, and it starts with a quarterback, and Florida State has one.
Yeah, I just don't know if I could have him ahead of Texas. Oklahoma at 10 on the strength of that win over Michigan, which I think by the end of the season may not look that big of a deal. We'll see on Oklahoma, but they've got them at 10 right now. South Florida comes in at 11. I love the South Florida story. They kick Boise State's butt, and then they go and beat Florida. That was awesome. They deserve to be up there, in my opinion, because of what they've done so far. To go beat Florida like that after just absolutely throttling Boise State, they are the favorites to get that Group of 5 nod in the college football playoff if they can win the American. And that won't be easy because they got to beat Tulane. But South Florida, really impressive after 2 weeks, and they deserve to be there.
Look at this non-conference schedule for South Florida.
Yeah.
Boise State, number 25 last week.
Yep.
Florida, number 13, they beat last week. Miami, number 5 next week.
Isn't that insane?
This week. But that right there.
And don't be surprised.
And here's the thing:
if they take Miami to the brink.
But if they don't, they should not get knocked.
Absolutely correct.
Right?
Not at all.
If Alabama loses to somebody, they only drop 4 or 5 spots.
Is there a tougher non-conference schedule in the country than South Florida?
That's what I'm saying. That is awesome.
And they're benefiting from it.
And they're winning.
Yep.
So they should not get knocked for that. It was great. And man, that's it. And there's no bye week in that. They got to go bang, bang, bang.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So tip the cap to South Florida. And that's what I was actually talking to Harlan when he was AD at South Florida. He set up these games. He was a part. This was last part of his deal with all of that, man. So he's great. He's setting that up for Utah as well. So we should definitely get all that.
It's very aggressive.
But that's football. That's what it should be. That's what we love about football.
South Florida, the first team since 1995 unranked team since 1995 to defeat back-to-back ranked opponents. Pretty impressive. Coming in at number 12, Utah. The Utes getting a lot of love here, all the way up at number 12 after their 2-0 start. That's ahead of Notre Dame, Clemson, Auburn, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Iowa State, who many outside of Utah believe is the best team in the Big 12. And, they beat Kansas State already, so they have the better win. So what do you think of that? Utah ahead of teams like Notre Dame, Clemson, Auburn, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Iowa State.
Well, I mean, I definitely think that they're better than those. I like that. I like Auburn's win against Baylor, so we see that. But
which looks better by the day.
Yeah, it's a long season, but Clemson kind of looks kind of.
I would agree with you on Clemson. I'm not sold on them.
You sure about that?
You sure about that?
You sure about that?
That's a lot of hype. And people saying Klubnik was the best quarterback in the country. He's gonna win the Heisman, and Clemson should be number 1 in the preseason poll. I'm not seeing it after 2 weeks.
You sure about that?
They're lucky they got Bass Troy. They were down 16-0.
Yeah.
Their offense looks abysmal. I'm not sold on Clemson. Agree. Auburn has surprised me. Me and Alex talked about how we just don't trust Hugh Freeze, but Auburn got that big win over Baylor. Ole Miss is Ole Miss. They're solid right now. In Tennessee, Aguilar has been okay at quarterback and got the job done there, and they were the biggest mover in the AP Top 25 for some reason. Doesn't really make any sense. And it's interesting that they have Utah that far ahead of Iowa State. The Big 12 is going to be interesting. And, of course, Texas Tech comes in at number 20.
I like it.
BYU's not in the top 25 here in this power rankings.
And these are all opinions, folks.
Yes.
Just like me and JJ talking here, these are all opinions. These are not like whatever.
But, Sly, I will say I believe BYU should be. I think BYU deserves to be.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. The way their defense is and the way LJ Martin is running the football, I don't know how you don't give that respect.
Would you say you like the promise of BYU football?
I see Annapolis with his hand on the recorder. No, I will not say that.
He learned his lesson, dang it.
I actually love the promise of BYU basketball. Basketball.
I would say and argue, look, I know Mississippi State won at home over Arizona State. I think BYU is better than Mississippi State. So put BYU at 21. South Carolina is a little low for me. I actually think South Carolina should be higher than Missouri. I wouldn't put Missouri that high. So I would move Texas Tech up to 19 and put BYU at 20. Yeah. I think BYU would beat Tulane home or away. They have Tulane number 23. I think BYU would beat Alabama. Based on what I've seen so far from Alabama, there's nothing about Alabama that would scare me. And I think that would be an interesting game to watch. And Michigan, I'm not sold on Michigan. They didn't really wow me against Oklahoma. I'm not sure about Oklahoma, but I'm definitely sure that Michigan's not good enough to be in this top 25. And so I would put BYU in there. I would put them anywhere between 20 and 25 and feel good about it. And so for BYU fans out there that are frustrated or feel overlooked, it's perfect for this group. It's perfect for BYU.
It really is.
Kalani and Jay and A-Rod are going to push the right buttons with that.
There's absolutely no love, or who cares about being ranked high this early in the season?
It doesn't matter.
It does not matter, folks. Don't even worry about it. But when you get to week 8, 9, 10, that's when you should be worried about getting some respect, because that's when it comes into play. When it get down to week 13 and you got to get, in place for this college football playoffs, that's when you should be worried about it. But here at week 2,
do you know where it's really going to be important? Week 7. We know what week 7 is.
Before that game?
If
or after that game?
BYU and Utah are 6-0 going into week 7, October 18th at LaVell Edwards Stadium, I think that's what's going to happen based on what I see in the schedule, based on the results we've seen so far. I expect both teams to be 6-0. I think Utah's going to beat Texas Tech and Arizona State at home. I think both should be 6-0 going into that game. And you're looking at, by that time, the way things shake out, if BYU runs the table against the opponents that are on their schedule, I know it's a light slate up to that point. It would be road wins in Boulder and Tucson that you're bragging about with that schedule. I know that's not, but BYU would be 6-0. They would be in the top 25. There's no doubt, and I think they could be even higher than that. We're on a collision course for that. Based on what I've seen out of both of these teams so far, I think that's definitely a possibility. So that's where things stand, and I think BYU does deserve to be top 25. But be patient, BYU fans. It's going to happen soon because that team's going to continue to stack dubs because that defense is legit.
Should Arizona Wildcats getting a little bit of love? I mean, they played Weber State in Hawaii, but they thrashed those teams, which is what you're supposed to do.
So, yeah, I think that if you're looking at the Big 12, I think we talked about when is Arizona, because what happened last year, they didn't do very well.
Right.
Could we see those teams that struggled last year outside of Oklahoma State rise up? Because there's talent. I mean, Noah Fafita's a dude.
Yes.
So we will see, to be determined on that. But there are some teams in the Big 12 that are starting to separate themselves, and teams like Kansas State and Oklahoma State that have been very disappointing. Sounds like a topic for a segment on a radio show we could get to later in the week. Wink, wink. We'll definitely hit that. Yeah, we'll do a Big 12 power poll later in the week. Our own little Big 12 power poll will be fun. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, would you rather? An NFL-themed would you rather, quarterback specifically, next on JJ and Alex 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody. Real-life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
Welcome back. Steve Bartle coming up next. We'll talk about Utah's game against Wyoming and what lies ahead for the Utes and a bunch of other details. It'll be a good conversation to have. Always good to have Steve Bartle, our Utah Utes insider, on the show. But first, a little Would You Rather fun. Sly. It's NFL season. It's back. So while you're filling in this week, I want to have some NFL fun and Would You Rather. It's always interesting to see who you think the best players are and why. So today we're going to start at quarterback. An NFL quarterback, would you rather? And I'm going to start with Lamar Jackson. Would you rather have Lamar Jackson or Justin Herbert?
I thought you were going to say Josh Allen because I would have been furious because I don't do fantasy football. I got tricked into
I
doing
do,
it.
and I got beat by Josh Allen on Sunday night.
You did too?
Yes.
All right, so I got tricked into doing it this year. Friend group went crazy, so it's like, oh, my wife will manage it. She'll just ask me questions, whatever, right? But I'm into it already, and I'm not supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
I have Lamar Jackson going against Josh Allen, right? Doing great. I have like 60, 70% chance of winning, whatever. Even through the first half, and then Josh Allen just goes ham, and my projections flip in a matter of a second.
I had the same thing happen.
And then he ends up having almost 100 points. What he had 92 points on fantasy, and I was just like, oh, this is stupid because that's why I hate fantasy. I go into a whole deal. I know you're talking about Justin Herbert. Sorry, but I got this. This really twists your nipples.
This really grinds your gears, huh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. It's crazy because it's like Lamar Jackson, the reason he didn't get more points is because they were winning, so he had to hand the ball off more. Josh Allen was losing the entire freaking game, so he was throwing the ball more. He was being more aggressive, getting more fantasy points, and that's held against Lamar Jackson. And it sucks. Sorry.
Don't play fantasy football then.
No.
And don't twist Ryan Day's nipples.
No. Oh, Ryan Day.
Lamar Jackson or Justin Herbert?
Lamar Jackson.
All right. Lamar Jackson or Jordan Love?
I love Jordan Love.
I know. It's going to get harder as we go.
I'd still take Lamar Jackson.
Okay. Lamar Jackson or Baker Mayfield?
No, Lamar Jackson.
Dude wins.
I know, and that's a thing too. A lot of people, you got to realize that it's the winning gene over like the athleticism, or whatever. But we're talking about quarterbacks here, so you can put this quarterback with any roster you got. And if I can construct a roster with Lamar Jackson or Baker Mayfield, I'll take Lamar.
Okay, it's going to get harder, as I said. Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes? You can only have one.
I'll go Pat.
Ooh,
I'll go Pat.
We've got a flip. You will Patrick Mahomes over Lamar Jackson.
I would.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes or Joe Burrow?
Oh, Patrick Mahomes.
That was too easy. Joe's darn good.
I know he is, but I'd take Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts?
Oh, Patrick Mahomes. Here's the thing: you can't duplicate or Jalen Hurts' legs. The dude squats 700-800 pounds.
He's a freak,
and like that. Just you can't make up for that. But still, in the game of football, if I have to go a whole season, a playoff, or whatever, I'll take Patty.
Okay, Patrick Mahomes or Jaden Daniels?
Jaden Daniels, that's my guy. You know that.
I know.
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels is a lot younger.
Franchise. This is a franchise question for me. Are you starting a franchise? I'm going with Jaden Daniels. I freaking love that kid.
Okay, so we're down to Jaden Daniels or Josh Allen.
Gosh, dang it.
Comes full circle.
It does. Who
are you going with?
I don't know. This is hard because this is.
This is your Sophie's choice here.
It really is because, like, Josh Allen he has that. I'm that guy.
What he did on Sunday night was insane.
He's that, and it was calm. It was
that
cool.
game was over. Half the stadium left.
Oh yeah.
And you have nothing else to do in Buffalo except drink.
Yeah, and I've been
and
there.
Eat wings.
Been there. Great wings, by the way.
Oh yeah.
But like, it doesn't matter what roster. And that's what you have to take with these two. Is like it doesn't matter who's around them. Can they make them better? And if that is the question, I got to go with Josh Allen.
Josh Allen wins, but it's close. Jaden Daniels is a superstar, and he's so young, and he's got a big ceiling.
Jaden Daniels. Yeah.
So a lot of good quarterbacks in the league right now. So that was a fun would you rather.
Josh Allen.
I know. I got beat too. I feel your pain. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Steve Bartle, Utah Utes insider for KSL Sports, will join us. We'll get you ready for the Utah-Wyoming game, and we'll have a lot of other questions about Utah's personnel, what we've learned after 2 games. Coming up next on JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Need one,